This is Mauzo village, where a strange disease is infecting residents. As you can see, many people are exhibiting signs and symptoms of the disease. Many people are vomiting, coughing, and seem to be in pain. The main hospital and clinics are full with sick patients. Shops and other businesses are open, but very few people are buying. Sick people are being ferried to hospital and clinics using any available means of transport. Are these signs of an epidemic? Kibibi is a 26-year-old female scientist recently graduated as a genomist and has just started working at Kibibi. She is at home watching the news on the outbreak on TV with her younger sister Fauzi.
Wa, Kibibi, this is terrible. This is terrible. Can't you do something? What can Kibibi do to stop this? Wacha, what can the government even do?
Fauzi, I know you're scared. But don't worry, usiogope. The government has asked Kibibi to look at the samples from the community and identify what is causing this disease. We will then advise the government on what steps to take to control and eventually stop the spread of this disease.
The following day, the Kilifi County field teams go into homes, hospitals and clinics in Mauzo village to collect blood and other samples. After the Kilifi County field teams collect samples from Mauzo village residents in the hospitals, clinics and homes, they are taken to Kilifi lab for analysis, where the Kilifi field team led by Kibibi's colleague Mtafiti receive the samples from the county team. So what happens to the specimens once they are received at Kilifi labs? The Kilifi lab team led by Kibibi swing into action. The lab team at Kilifi, led by Kibibi and Dumu, is now ready to start on identifying the germ responsible for the disease outbreak. They begin by first finding out if the germ particles are present in the sample, even if in very little quantities. The particles that are found are grown on a special mixture in order for their quantity to increase to a level where it is possible to remove the genetic material, DNA, from them. The genetic material, DNA, is then removed, and this DNA material is put into a machine called a PCR to increase the amount of the genetic material and make it easy to harvest as much DNA material as possible. In the next stage, the DNA undergoes a process where many copies of it are put together and given a unique identification code to make it easy for a large amount of the DNA material to be read at the same time. DNA material is made up of 4 chemicals or molecules, represented by the letters A, T, C, and G. The next stage is determining how the chemicals are arranged in the DNA material through a process known as sequencing. The order of appearance of the chemicals A, T, C, and G in the DNA material is like the fingerprint of the DNA and can be used to identify a germ. This is the final process which the scientists in the lab use to accurately identify germs. Now that Kibibi, Dumu and the whole team of the Kilifi team have identified the germ, what next? Kilifi informs the Ministry of Health about it and advises them on how to respond to the situation. This advice is in the form of a policy brief. The government adopts several measures to control the spread of the disease. First, they get the right medicine and distribute them to hospitals. Mandatory testing for villages is ordered. Restriction of movement and closure of schools and other public spaces like markets. After a few months, life comes back to normal in Mauzo village. Shops and schools reopen. Businesses begin to flourish. Hospitals and clinics empty out. People are back to their farms, and most importantly, everyone is healthy once again.
Kibibi, you did it! You saved the village! You, Domo, and the whole of KWTRP are the heroes. Thank you so much.